Okay, so I just wanted to make a little informational video to kind of talk about what this is, not only for my devs, but for fans as well. So this is just a test, little early world I made, testing out some random plants and stuff. Um, and this is all really early concept, but I just wanted to share the basic principles. So um, you will be exploring this planet. It's going to be open world. It's going to be set up into four distinct districts, each with various speeder. The speeder are these lizard people that you're seeing on screen, and this is an early sprite work. The final model is looks a little bit different, but um, so it's going to be open world. It's going to have three different areas, three different area types. It's going to have combat areas, which are going to spawn like low-level enemies. It's going to have um, speeder districts, which are like shops and places to relax, places to shop at, stuff like that. And then it's going to have dungeons, which are going to be spread around the world. You enter them, and it'll be like a platformer challenge with kind of like a roguelite experience, dungeon crawler experience. And then once you complete it, you'll get put back into the open world. Um, so there are four distinct districts. The speeder you play as is a blue speeder from the tropical area. And then there will be mountainous speeders. That will be the first group you encounter. And they just each look a little bit different. You can see the pictures that I sent in the feed down below. Um, you can see them on Discord or on the Patreon or whatever. But then, so I don't have any of this set up yet. I'm still working on it. But we're going to have real-time combat, so you're going to be able to punch. You're going to be able to grapple enemies to you or grapple yourself to enemies, and you're going to be able to roll. I don't have an animation for roll, but I have the mechanics down. So if I press this button, it adds like kind of like ice physics to the character almost. He's going to like roll into a ball. You can gain some speed. You can jump over ramps. It's going to have like a momentum-based physics to it. Um, and some of the like dungeons will have like momentum based things like ramps and stuff to jump down, jump over as well. Um, and so the basic gameplay loop is going to be uh, I have a text document. Let me find it. Okay, so there's level 1 enemies that drop coins. Level 2 enemies drop coins and gauntlet pieces, which I'll get into in a second. And then level 3s drop coins, gauntlet pieces, and elemental shards. And there are mini bosses and bosses. Mini bosses spawn in the open world, bosses spawn in the dungeons. Um, and so the four main things you're going to be collect are coins, which are in the open world and dropped by enemies, dungeon coins, which you can only find in dungeons, and enemies in the dungeons will also drop them, and then elemental shards and gauntlet pieces. These go together. So there will be a crafting station at each speeder district, each of the cities, each of the little villages, and you can use coins to buy various coins. And dungeon coins are for um, let me start with coins first. So coins are for potions, different weapons, stuff to help you in the dungeons. You can buy gauntlets, which will boost your damage. Dungeon coins are for cosmetics. They don't do anything useful in the game, but they just make your character look different. You can change the way it looks a little bit. And then some things require both, like you can customize your gauntlets and stuff. That actually may be cut. I'm not sure how well, if I'm going to keep that or not, the double purchase thing. And then so the gauntlet pieces you can use to craft gauntlets, and there'll be different types of pieces. Like some will like give you more coins, some more coins you drop from the enemies. Some will be bonus damage. Some will be like every time you land a hit, you heal. And you can only wear one gauntlet at a time. And then the elemental shards you can craft onto your gauntlets to kind of customize it. So let's say you have like a gauntlet that doubles your damage and heals you when you punch, and then you also have ice on it, so it will hurt fire enemies more. but it will do less damage to the same elemental type. So like if you have a fire gauntlet, it'll hurt ice enemies more, but it won't do any damage to fire enemies. I hope that makes sense. So you'll have some kind of customization, and you'll be able to choose each of these before you enter each dungeon. The dungeon will be like, hey, this summons ice and fire enemies, and each enemy has like double attack speed or whatever. Like it'll tell you what you're getting into, so you can kind of customize your set before you jump into the dungeon. And you can use these in the open world too, but it'll just let you kind of swap out what you have in your inventory before you enter the dungeon. And then anything you collect in the dungeon, there'll be chests with coins and other variable collectibles and stuff. Anything you collect, you'll keep into the open world, and you can sell it and then do whatever. And that's the general gameplay loop. You'll be doing that, exploring the open world and going into dungeons, following the story along. There's 4 distinct districts. I think I briefly touched on this. So there's the tropical speeders, which are blue, the mountainous speeders, which are like green. They're ninja, Japan Chinese style inspiration. You got the jungle speeders, which are like aquatic. And then you got the desert speeders, which are gray, tan, and they live in the desert, obviously. So that's the 4 main districts. So each district will have 8 dungeons each. And you don't have to do the dungeons to follow the storyline. These are just like stuff on the side. And then if you follow the storyline and go through other places, you'll meet the last boss. You don't have to do the dungeons to do that. That's just a side thing if you want. And each dungeon is endlessly replayable, so you can grind resources from each dungeon. And then once you actually complete the game, there will be a hidden secret dungeon. So like I said, there's 8 per district, so 32 total. There'll be a 33rd secret dungeon that mixes elements from all of them. It's like the final challenge, and that will be like the main grinding place post game. Yeah, like I said, it has real-time combat. There's going to be a dodge system, a parry mechanic, physics for like jumping over slopes and stuff. You're going to have 3 like NPCs that follow you around and help build the story. They're each going to help you fight. They can't die, but they do less damage. They're kind of just, you know, your average NPC. So most of the fight is going to be towards up to you. You know, it's still based on your skill. And yeah, and then like I said, there is some strategy along with the skill, picking your gauntlets before you enter. There's also going to be various shopkeepers and stuff that wander around, and different unique characters you meet that you can get bonus gear off of and stuff. So yeah, I mean, hopefully it's going to be a lot of fun. The idea behind this is it's going to be endlessly replayable. So once you beat the story, you can still grind and fight harder monsters and stuff that'll spawn in the overworld, and keep playing for a little bit after the story. But the main focus will be the story. It will be fully voice acted, or at least the main core cast will be fully voice acted. And I guess I'll just touch on the story a little bit, and that'll pretty much be it. So basically, right now, all I have is, now we have some writers still. This is early, but right now we have the planet of the speeders is being overrun by a threat from outer space, and it's up to you to stop the threat. I don't want to like spoil too much yet, because again, it may change. But yeah, if you have any questions, if anyone has any questions, I'd be happy to answer. I tried to cover as much as I could. I know this is still all early in development, but yeah, I hope you guys are looking forward to it. And I just kind of wanted to shed some light on some questions everybody had.